What's Voinov up to? He should be here. He needs some sleep, and we've still a good half hour before us. Suppose I went down to see if there's any news. No, we must not take no unnecessary risks. Yannick, why are you so silent? I've nothing to say. But you needn't feel any anxiety about me. Ah, here he is. Did you sleep? Yes, a bit. Did you sleep all night? Well, you should have. There are ways of making oneself sleep. I tried them, but I must have been overtired. Your hands are shaking. No. Why are you eyeing me like that? Surely there's nothing so terrible about one's feeling tired. That's not the point. It's about you. Uh, we're troubled. You should have thought about all that 2 days ago. If the bomb had been thrown then, we wouldn't be feeling tired today. I'm sorry, Alexis. It's all my fault. I've made things harder for everybody. What do you mean? Why harder? I'm tired, and that's all there is to it. Well, it won't be long now. In an hour's time, all will be over. Yes, all will be over in an hour's time. Boria, I want to talk to you. In private? Yes, in private. Yes, what is it? Out with it, Alexis. I'm ashamed, Boria. Bitterly ashamed, but I must tell you the truth. You don't want to throw the bomb, is that it? I I can't bring myself to do it. Do you mean you've panicked at the last moment? Is that all? There's nothing shameful in that. I'm afraid. And I'm ashamed of my fear. I can't understand. The day before yesterday, you were so gay and brave. Your eyes were sparkling when you went out. I've always been afraid, and only somehow, the day before yesterday, I screwed up my courage. When I heard the carriage in the distance, I said to myself, good, only a minute more. I gritted my teeth. Every muscle in my body was taut as steel. And if I'd flung the bomb at that moment, I really believe its mere impact would have killed the Grand Duke. I waited, for the first explosion which was going to release that pent-up energy. But it never came. The carriage rumbled by. How fast it went. It was past me in a flash. And then I realized that Yannick hadn't thrown his bomb. I went cold all over, icy cold, and suddenly all the strength went out of me and I felt weak as a child. Don't take it to heart, Alexis. That was just a passing lapse. Life and strength come back. 2 days have gone by, but they haven't come back to me. Just now I lied to you. I couldn't sleep a wink last night. My heart was racing. Oh, Boria, I'm so miserable. So sick of everything. Don't. Don't let what's happened get you down, Alexis. We've all had the same experience at some time or another. You won't be asked to throw the bomb. You must take a month's rest in Finland and then come back to us. No, it's not so simple as all that. If I don't throw the bomb today, I shall never throw one. Oh, come now, you're exaggerating. No, Bore, it's the simple truth. I'm not made for terrorism. I realize that now. The best thing is for me to leave you. I'll do my bit in propaganda on committees and so forth. The risk's the same. Yes, but you can keep your eyes shut. You don't know. And that makes all the difference. I don't follow. One doesn't see what happens. It's easy to attend meetings, work out plans, and then pass orders for their carrying. You risk your life, of course, but there's a sort of veil between you and the real thing. It's a very different matter. going down into the street when night is falling on the city, taking your stand among the crowds of people hurrying home to their evening meal, their children, the wife who's watching on the doorstep, and having to stand there, grim and silent, with the weight of the bomb tugging at your arm, and knowing that in 3 minutes, in 2 minutes, in a few seconds, you will dash out toward a carriage, a bomb in hand. That's what terrorist action means, and I know now that couldn't start it all over again without feeling all the blood drain from my veins. Yes, I'm bitterly ashamed. I aim too high. I must be given the place I am fit for. Quite a humble place in the rank and file, the only one of which I am worthy. There's no such place for any of us. All our paths led to the same end, jail, the gallows. Yes, but you don't see them as you see the man you have to kill. You have to imagine them. And luckily for me, I have no imagination. Do you know, I've never really believed in the secret police. Absurd, isn't it, for a terrorist? I'll believe they exist only when I get my first kick in the belly, not before. And when you are in prison? In prison, you can't help knowing and seeing there's no more shutting your eyes to the facts. In prison, you have no more decisions to make. What a relief to feel that everything's decided for you. You haven't got to tell yourself. Now it's up to you. You must decide on the moment when to strike. One thing I'm sure of now is that I shall not try to escape. For escaping too, you need to make decisions. You have to take the initiative. If you don't try to escape, the others keep the initiative. They do all the work. Sometimes the work they do is hanging you. I know that, but dying won't be so hard as carrying my life and another man's in the hollow of my hand and having to decide on the moment when I fling them both into the fiery death. No, Borea, the only way I have of making good is to accept myself as what I am. Even cowards can help the revolution. It's up to them to find out in just what way they can be useful. Then, in the last analysis, we all are cowards. Only we don't always have opportunities of showing ourselves up. That's settled then, Alexis. You'll do as you prefer. I prefer to leave at once. I don't think I could bring myself to face them. But you'll tell them, won't you? I'll tell them. Tell Yannick it's not his fault and that I love him as I love you all. Goodbye, brother. All things have an end. One day Russia will be a happy land. Yes, yes. May she be happy. May she be happy. Come. What's happened? Voinov will not throw the bomb. He's exhausted and he might muff it. It's my fault, isn't it? He asked me to tell you that he loves you. Shall we see him again? Ah, perhaps. For the present, he's leaving us. Why? He'll be more useful in the committees. Did he ask for this? Has he lost his nerve? No. The decision was mine and mine only. So at the 11th hour, you are changing all our plans. At the 11th hour, I've had to come to a decision by myself. It was too late to talk it over with you. Uh, I shall take Voinov's place. No, I have first claim to it. You are our leader. Your duty is to stay here. Sometimes a leader's duty is to act the coward, but on condition that he proves his courage when the need arises. I've made my decision. You, Stepan, will replace me for as long as is needed. Now you must hear the program I fixed up for each of you. Come. It's not your fault. I've hurt him cruelly. Do you know what he said to me the other day? He was always saying how happy he was. Yes, but he told me there was no happiness for him outside our comradeship. This is what he said. We, the organization, stand for all that matters in the world today. It's like an order of chivalry come back to earth. Oh, Dora, what a shame this has happened. He'll come back. No, I can picture how I'd feel if I were in his position. I'd be heartbroken. And now? Aren't you heartbroken? Now. But I'm with you all, and I am happy as he was happy. Yes, it's a great happiness. None greater. Don't you feel as I do? Yes. But why then are you so depressed? 2 days ago you looked so cheerful, like a schoolboy going on vacation. But today I know something I did not know then. You were right, Dora. It's not simple as it seems. I thought it was quite easy to kill, provided one has courage and is buoyed up by an ideal. But now I've lost my wings. I have realized that hatred brings no happiness. I can see the vileness in myself and in the others too. Murderous instincts, cowardice, injustice. I've got to kill. There are no two ways about it, but I shall see it through to the end. I shall go beyond hatred. Beyond. There's nothing beyond. Yes, there is love. Love! No, that's not what is needed. Oh, Dora, how can you say that? You of all people, you whose heart I know so well. Too much blood, too much brutal violence. There's no escape for us. Those whose hearts are set on justice have no right to love. They're on their toes as I am, holding their heads up, their eyes fixed on the heights. What room for love is there? Such proud hearts. Love bows heads gently, compassionately. We, Yannick, are stiff-necked, but we love our fellow men. Yes, we love them in our fashion, with a vast love that has nothing to show it up. That brings only sadness. The masses, we live so far away from them, shut up in our thoughts. And do they love us? Do they even guess we love them? No, they hold their peace. Ah, that silence, that unresponsive silence. But surely that's precisely what love means, sacrificing everything without expecting anything in return. Uh, Perhaps, yes, I know that love, an absolute ideal love, a pure and solitary joy. And I feel it burning in my heart, yet there are times when I wonder if love isn't something else, something more than a lovely voice, a monologue, and if there isn't sometimes a response. And then I see a picture floating up before my eyes. The sun is shining. Pride dies from the heart. One bows one's head gently, almost shyly, and every barrier is down. Oh, Yannick, if only we could forget, even for an hour, the ugliness and misery of this world we live in and let ourselves go. At last! Our little hour or so of thinking of ourselves, just you and me for a change. Can you see what I mean? Yes, Dora, I can. It's what is called love in the simple human sense. Yes, darling, you've guessed what I mean, but does that kind of love mean anything to you, really? Do you love justice with that kind of love? Do you love our Russian people with all that love, all tenderness and gentleness and self-forgetting? You see? And how about me, Yannick? Do you love me as a lover? No one will ever love you as I love you. I know. But wouldn't it be better to love like an ordinary person? I'm not an ordinary person. Such as I am, I love you. Do you love me more than justice, more than the organization? For me, justice, the organization are inseparable. I don't distinguish between you. Yes, but do please answer me. Do you love me all for yourself, selfishly, possessively? Oh, you know what I mean. Would you love me if I were unjust? If you were unjust and I could love you, it wouldn't be you I loved. That's no answer. Tell me only this. Would you love me if I didn't belong to the organization? Then what you belong to? I remember the time when I was a student. I was pretty then. I used to spend hours walking about the town dreaming all sorts of silly daydreams. I was always laughing. Would you love me if I were like that now, carefree, gay, like a young girl? I'm longing. Oh, how I'm longing to say yes. Then say yes, darling, if you mean it, if it's true, in spite of everything, of justice, of our suffering fellow men, of human bondage. Do try to forget for a moment all those horrors, the scaffold, the agony of little children, of men who are flogged to death. Dora, please. No. Surely, for once, we can let our hearts take charge. I'm waiting for you to say the word, to tell me you want me, Dora, the living woman. And I mean more than you, than this world, this foully unjust world around us. Keep quiet. My heart yearns for you and you alone, but a few minutes hence I'll need a clear head and a steady hand. A few minutes hence. Ah, yes, I was forgetting. No, no, darling. I'll do as you want. Don't be angry with me. I was talking nonsense. I promise to be sensible. I'm overtired, that's all I do. I couldn't have said what I wanted you to say. I love you with the same love as yours, a love that's half frozen, because it's rooted in justice and reared in prison cells. Summer, Yana, can you remember what that's like? A real summer's day, but no. It's never ending winter here. We don't belong to the world of men. We are the just ones. Outside there's warmth and light, but not for us. Never for us. Pity on the just. Yes, that's our lot on earth. Love is impossible, but I shall kill the Grand Duke, and then at last there will be peace for you and me. Peace. When shall we find peace? The next day. Yannick! I'm ready. At last. At last. Brother, I'm with you. Goodbye, Stepan. Goodbye, Dora. No, not goodbye. Au revoir. Au revoir, mon chéri. We shall meet again. Au revoir, Dora. I. Russia will be free. Russia will be free. How straight he's walking. Yes, I was wrong not to feel confidence in Yannick, but his enthusiasm was too romantic for my liking. Did you notice how he crossed himself just now? Is he religious? Well, he's not a churchgoer. Still, he has leanings toward religion. That's why he didn't hit it off. I'm more bitter than he. For people like me who don't believe in a God, there's no alternative between total justice and utter despair. To Yannick's mind, there's an element of despair in justice itself. Yes, he has a weak soul, but happily he's better than his soul. His arm won't falter. Yannick will kill the Grand Duke. I'd swear to it, and it will be a good day's work, a very good day's work. Destruction, that's what's wanted. But you're not saying anything. Are you in love with him? Love calls for time, and we have hardly time enough for justice. You are right. There's so much still to do. We must smash this world we live in, blast it to smithereens, and after that, they're out of sight. They must have reached their posts by now. Yes? After that? You said what will happen after that? After that, we shall love each other if we are still alive. Then others will love each other, which comes to the same thing. Stepan, say hatred. What? I just want you to utter that word hatred. Hatred. Yes, that's right. Yannick could never say it well. I understand. You despise me. Still, are you quite sure you're right to despise me? You're all alike. Counting the cost of what you do in terms of your despicable love. I'm different. I love nothing, and I hate, yes, I hate my fellow men. Why should I want their precious love? I learned all about it 3 years ago in the convict prison. For 3 years, I've borne its marks on me, and you want me to turn sentimental and carry the bomb as if it were a cross, but I'm damned if I will. There you are. There are the marks of their love. Now, do you still despise me? Who could despise suffering? I love you too. Sorry, Dora. Perhaps it's only weariness. The burden of all those years of struggle and suspense, of police spies, hard labor in the prison, and to crown everything, this. How could I have the energy to love? But anyhow, I still have the energy to hate, and that's better than feeling nothing at all. Yes, you're right, it's better. The Grand Duke will be going by. Let's hope he is by himself. Boria hasn't thrown his bomb. That means Yannick has brought it off. The people have triumphed. And it's we who have killed him. If it's we who have killed him, it's I. What do you mean? Killed whom? Yannick? The Grand Duke.